Hi, this is Julie. Welcome back to my channel. Good morning. He was like, when you came outside, he was like, he was telling us that you was gonna have sex with him. And we were all trying to tell him like, bro, she's a virgin. She's not gonna do that. We've all tried. She doesn't want to do that. She wants to wait till she gets married. And he was telling them, bro, she lying to you. She done had sex, like she gonna do it with me. Like he was like, I didn't know he was serious, right? And I was just like, I remember him taking me upstairs, my best friend, and telling me to go get in the bathtub. So, I went and bathed, and I think I put on some of his clothes or whatever. But like it was just crazy to know that like he had been plotting and planning on me, and he told them. He didn't tell them he was gonna rape me, but he told them that I was going to have sex with him. Um, what was crazy is like I didn't want to go home, and I spent probably all day there, and I was mad at myself. Like, why did you go over there? Like, you're dumb. Like, you were drunk, but I wasn't drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, but still, I was just like, I put myself in a bad position. Like, I was blaming myself. Like, I liked him. So, I had kissed him before or whatever, but that was it. I never did anything more than that. And at the time, I was feeling like, did I lead him on? Did I give him the impression that I was just playing? You know, it was just so many things going on in my mind. And like I said, I was just like, was someone there in the house? Like, because I saw the car in the driveway. So I never knew, because they had like a bunch of cars. It was like his parents, he had like, I don't know how many brothers he had, but there were always a lot of cars there. And any other time that I had went over there, his parents were always home. So I was just like, I was just mad. I was like, I had fought so hard to keep my virginity, from being molested, and not just by my grandfather, but, going through so much stuff. And then, like my plan was to wait till I got married because I wanted to give that to my husband, right? So I was very angry. I was just, there was so much stuff going on in my head. And then when he told me that he was telling them that, because like I said, when I had stepped outside, it was just like a weird vibe. I was like, okay, let me go back in the house. But, my best friend had told him, he was like, man, bro, we've all tried. Like, she's just not that type of girl. That's not what she wants to do. She wants to wait till she gets married. And they were telling him, like, that's the reason why, like, we respect her, because that's not what she's trying to do. And he apparently didn't care. And when he said I was going to, he meant that. But, even with me blaming myself, it was just like, you kind of go through all these thoughts in your head, like, I shouldn't have did this and I shouldn't have did that. And but at the end of the day, all of those things are okay. I didn't do anything wrong. I made my intentions very clear. I let him know in no uncertain terms, like, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. That's not something I'm ready to do right now. Because he'd asked me before, and I told him no. And at the time, like, he was just like, okay, like, he didn't seem angry about it or whatever. And I don't know how long he had been plotting on me to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, was it then? Like, you just start going through all these things in your head. And I had always had a lot of guy friends, but I had never been in a situation like this. And then what was crazy was he worked at the store behind our house, and I was still at the house, at my best friend's house, and he calls to the house, and I just happened to answer the phone because my best friend was like, get the phone. He was upstairs. So I answered the phone, and he was like, hey. I was like, who is this? And he said his name, and I was like, what do you want? And he was like, I had a great time last night. I hope that we can do it again. Like, this dude was talking to me like we just had regular sex. It was consensual. Like, you didn't just rape me for 6 hours. And I'm just sitting there like, I'm so angry. I just started crying. And my best friend was coming down the stairs at the time. And he was like, he's sitting there looking at me, and he grabs his phone and he was like, who the F is this? And he told him who it was. And he was like, don't call over here no more. Don't come over here more. He was like, if I see you, like, he was very angry. So he hung up on him and he was just like, I'm sorry. It's okay. Like, he just was letting me know it was all right. He was like, you don't have to talk to him no more. And I was like, I'm not. I was just, I can't believe that he had the audacity to call like, hey, we had a good time last night. Let's hang out again. Like, people are really delusional. And, I was just like, that was so crazy to me. I was just like, I cannot believe that, because even when he dropped me off at my best friend's house, he was like, I'll see you later. And I was thinking like, you're never going to see me later. I never saw him again, like ever. And because at the time, like I said, we were friends and I knew his work schedule or whatever. So I would never go to that store when he was at work. I made sure of the days when I went over there, he wasn't working, so I just never had to run into him. I want to say that he was like a year older than me, so we didn't go to school together. Like, it was just crazy. I think I stayed over there for 2 days at my best friend's house just because his girlfriend had kids. So like, I used to babysit her kids all the time. So, but I just, like, I don't know. I think I was just numb, and I just, like, I was just so traumatized and shocked. I was just like I said, it's so many emotions, angry and sad. And, it does something to you when someone rapes you. I think it just, like, rips your soul. It's just crazy how you feel. It's like something I can't describe, but I know that if you've been through it, you understand what I'm saying. I went back home eventually, and, my mom, like, she knew where I was. I had called her and, I told her that, first of all, I was going to bar. I couldn't do anything without permission anyways. So I went, I told her, I went home and I talked to her. But I didn't tell her at first because at the time I was really blaming myself for going over there. And I felt like, because she would tell me stuff like, I never honestly was with boys alone like that, but that made me very leery of people and situations that I put myself in. I know now that it wasn't my fault and that he was completely out of line and he was wrong for what he did, but I never called the police. I didn't tell my mom until, like, I think I was married. So, I just, it was just a crazy situation. So my advice to just anyone, because those type of things kind of make you not want to do this or not want to go there, because how do you, like, you don't know the future, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what people think and what they're planning and plotting, and we don't know, all you can do is just be, like, be as safe as you can. Those are hard situations. But what I would have done differently is I would have told my mother immediately, and I would have called the police, to press charges on him. And that's what I should have done, But those situations are hard, it's just like, I remember how the questioning went when I went to the police station by my grandfather, and that nothing was done. And I feel like I thought at the time that they weren't going to do anything. And then I was over there. He didn't force me to go. It wasn't like this was a stranger who jumped out the bushes. You know what I'm saying? This was somebody who was my friend, and we had a history that we were talking. And I was just so confused at the time. But, you know, I just want to give you the courage that if this has happened to you, that you immediately go to the police and talk to them. Because I wasn't the type of girl that, I wasn't fast and I wasn't dressing all, I dressed age appropriate. My mother wouldn't allow me not to anyways, but, you know, I just feel like there are situations where, you can, or you should rather, just go tell someone that you trust that will take you to the police, or go to the police station. And I know it's hard because I was shook. I was completely shook. And, you know, I don't, and now, like, I'm not trying to protect anyone by not saying names, but I want to protect people's privacy. You know, that's why I don't like to mention people's names. When I say her, my best friend, them, that, you know, it's not my place to put them in a position where they would be asked questions that they may not want to answer. But I'm going to end the video here. And if you feel like no one cares about you, know that I care, and go and make someone smile today.